I'm Tina Molyneaux and I'm the Discipleship Enabler for Oxford Diocese. So how do we become a more Christ-like church for the sake of God's world? Contemplative, compassionate and courageous. And how can we encourage people in their everyday faith? The word discipleship means different things to different people. Some prefer to use the term faith formation. A disciple is simply someone who's actively seeking to know Jesus more deeply by learning to love and live this relationship out in every area of life. And that's Monday to Sunday. It's about discovering our baptismal identity. And it's fundamental to our participation in the church and in the kingdom of God. The outworking of our discipleship is different for different people. And there's no hierarchy to the roles or the functions that we fulfill in following God's call. Perhaps in the church, we'd like us to move away from a culture that overemphasises the distinction between the sacred and the secular, towards pursuing the core calling of every church community, of every follower of Jesus, to make whole life maturing disciples. The Church of England has commissioned many surveys to look at the discipleship of its church. And nearly 60% of Anglican surveys said that their church does not equip them well for life in today's world, whether they're at home, whether they're at work, whether they're at school or in the community. 47% of them said that they didn't have a story to tell about what God was doing in their lives. So how can we lead others in their discipleship journey? Well, by listening and encouraging. When asked what support and resources would help people become more confident and effective, they said they wanted encouragement and support to discover their gifts. They wanted opportunities and encouragement to step into new areas, to make connections to others, to learn from and share with. And they wanted easy to access training and ongoing development. In Luke chapter 10, Jesus sends out the 72 in pairs, and we're following and extending this principle. So the personal discipleship plan is the opportunity for every person, no matter where they are on their faith journey, to be paired with an encourager or a mentor, someone to encourage them on their faith journey. Our suggestion is that you would meet up with your mentor every 3 or 4 months and they will walk alongside you. Over the last couple of years in the diocese, we've been piloting and introducing personal discipleship plans. So what are they? Well, at their simplest, they're a series of encouraging conversations. But at best, they provide an ongoing, accompanied journey, a creative, supportive and equipping for whole life intentional disciples. It begins with a really broad conversation. This could be had on the phone, could be had virtually, but it will be a positive, encouraging, practical and prayerful conversation. There will always be 2 next steps. The first will focus on our spiritual diet. What's nourishing us? What's sustaining us? What's our daily bread, our daily rhythms and practices? And how can this be enriched? And the second step will be on the outworking of our faith. How can you share your gifts? Where are your gifts bearing fruit? This is beginning to have a real impact in the diocese. And after only 6 months of having a personal discipleship plan, everybody agreed that they were being encouraged and equipped to develop their gifts.